Hello and welcome to Twenties, Aplenty and our weekly campaign, the Headhunter Chronicles, a D&D adventure involving random people that met on the internet. This week, the group continue their exploration of the ancient ruins. Will they get out alive? If you enjoyed today's session, please remember to like and subscribe. Either way, we'd love to know what you think, so please leave a comment below. And with that, we hope you enjoy this week's session.
We travel and roll, our intentions are good. Maybe we fight, at times polite. It's DnD.
So when last we set off, the group were just finishing off their breakfast the morning after the evening before when they got attacked by the Brown Hoods. The group went for a spot of shopping, or some of the group, all bar Amanita and Cleo. Amanita was feeling a bit upset because of Lucy's near death experience. Shook her a little bit. So Cleo stopped to make sure she was okay, but she'd been up quite late and was mainly catching up on sleep. So the other three went off to two places. So Korsk wanted a breastplate, which he got from the one-legged armourers, and then they headed off to Wondrous Wares to see Hugo Paukhurst and bought an array of sending stones, including a conference calling facility, as well as two bi-directional ones. And also they bought a staff for Amanita, which was the 8th staff of reaching, which was like effectively a +1 quarter staff, but has 10-foot range when extended, but her attacks when it's extended have disadvantage. Korsk then, as a bit of a, I would say, peacekeeping type of activity, but more he didn't quite feel him and Amanita had warmed to each other, or more, Amanita hadn't warmed to him yet. So he decided that he would personalize her gift of the staff by doing some tinkering and creating a engraving of like the Bayeux tapestry, but like nature and vines and horses and stuff, which when you extended it, it kind of extended round with this horse running around and so on and so forth. A bit of me ad-libbing there, but
I mean, I love that description.
So after that, the group headed back to the refugee camp, gave Amanita her staff, and then headed off to the bounty office to collect their bounties for Cynthia and Andre Brownhood. And they got 20,000 gold pieces in total. They found out that the bounty on Urine Brownhood was also 20,000 in total. So they decided that they would try and lure Urine in, Lucy and Korsk, transforming into the aforementioned Cynthia and Andre Brownhood, and the others would parade them through the market square. However, they forgot that they'd only just collected on the bounty, so not everybody realised that Cynthia and Andre were dead, in which they were set upon by a elven archer to begin with, but then also a whole lot of people coming out of the Silver Steel Inn armed with swords and bows and arrows, crossbows, so on and so forth, and started attacking them. Then Korsk transformed back into his normal appearance, vortex warped them onto a roof. Amanita supported that with a bit of cloud fog, and then Varak grabbed hold of Cleo, and him and Amanita kind of flew off while Lucy thunderstepped twice away from the danger. Their ploy had failed for now. After that, the group decided they would head to the Wizards College, in which case they were reunited with Sybil in this rather old Gothic-looking building which smelt of formaldehyde, the College of Necromancy. It was interesting to see how she regarded Korsk. It was more of a pet / errand boy, and she was very much there's a nice treat for you in the cupboard over the other end of the lab. Why don't you go and have your treat while I talk to the adults? But you got the impression that Korsk also worked with that to get what he needed. He would slip things into his satchel as they were working away. Anyway, Sybil described that the Sorcerer's Circle had found something, a magical item, rumoured to be a robe, in a ruin in the mountains, which Korsk had followed some sorcerers to. There seemed to be quite a few sorcerers going there. The report back from the Sorcerer's Circle to the Wizards' College, who had an agreement that they would share any finds, to not give one organisation more power than the other. The Sorcerer's Circle had told them that it was inert, effectively, this robe that they found. The Wizards' College don't believe that, and think that the Sorcerer's Circle are doing some sort of power play, and have asked Sybil to get to the bottom of the problem and make sure that the Sorcerer's Circle don't create an unlevel playing field by having some wondrous item. Sybil said as long as the group recover the item, they can keep it. She just doesn't want the Sorcerer's Circle to have it. So the group agreed and headed off via the refugee camp. And it took 2 days to get to the place where Korsk had discovered the entrance to a cave. Outside were 2 sorcerers, old and decrepit, acting as guards. One of them had quite a weak bladder due to his age and went for a wee behind a rock. Korsk snuck up behind him and knocked him out, while Varric had cast hold person on them both. Lucy tried to do the same with the one that was sat on a rock reading a newspaper. Unfortunately, rather than using the pommel of his dagger, decided to use the blade of his dagger and ended up stabbing him through the back of the neck. The poor sorcerer, who didn't see Lucy coming, landed on the ground, gurgling with blood, choking and dying. Given the group were going to meet a member of the Sorcerer's Circle, they didn't want anything coming back to them that they may have murdered a member of the Circle. So they decided to make it look like a murder. And the one that was unconscious, they covered in alcohol, covered his hands in blood, gave him a knife, laid a load of empty bottles around, and made it look like he was the murderer. And he'll probably wake up with a sore head and believe it himself, for some reason. The group then headed into the dungeon, and eventually walls of mud and rock became large flagstones, and they found themselves in a corridor rather than a cave. And they found a door. Amanita turned into a spider and headed under the door to see what was in the room beyond. She found the room was covered in spikes on either side of the wall for the length of this long room. About 20 feet in, she discovered a sorcerer that was about 3 feet off the ground, impaled on the spikes. By this point, Lucy had decided that, not considering the door might be trapped, decided to set the door on fire. But the door wasn't trapped anyway, and the group made their way into the room, thinking that this was a trap where the spikes would come together and anybody inside would be impaled when that happened. The group carefully made their way through the room, investigating loose flagstones as they went. Varric was flying off the ground. There was a rope that was tied around Korsk, Lucy and Varric, and they got to the end of the room finally, carefully avoiding the loose flagstones. Korsk checking some of them to see if there's traps under there. There was a couple that he found they were just loose stones. Others he couldn't fit his thieves' tools underneath to discover whether or not there was a trigger. They got to the end of the room. Then Korsk opened the door and walked through. As soon as he did, the whole room turned on an axis across the door, flipping. Seeing this happen, Varric, who had Amanita in his pocket, flew for the door. But Lucy and Cleo fell and became impaled on the spikes, injuring themselves quite badly. They managed to pull them up using the rope and so forth. And we find ourselves at the edge of a corridor. The room behind them has now reset itself. So, you're at the edge. You're in front of a corner. What would you like to do? Who's running Amanita, by the way, today?
I'll run Amanita, I guess. I'll do that.
Cool.
I want to apologize to Jess. I'm not going to do the voice. I can't.
Are you sure? Sorry, that's about as best as I could. Surprised I could hit that pitch, actually.
I can't get any
I can't do it anymore.
I used to be quite good with high pitch stuff, but it would be like mid-range I'd struggle with. I could do really high and really low, but in between I'd really struggle. And lately I've lost my ability to do high pitch. I don't know what it is. I think it's just an age thing.
Just suck the scrotum right up. You'll be fine.
Yep.
Is that how you do it, Charlie?
And it's fine. You have to just... They will come back, I promise.
It's D&D! I jest. So, on that note...
Yeah, Lucy's going to be just rubbing his backside going, see, before we go any further, should we maybe distribute potions and things? Do you guys need any?
I'm fine. I didn't fall.
I didn't get any time to make some before we had to leave after pulling that stunt in the street.
Yeah.
You'll be fine, Lucy.
Storage if you want some. Okay, well, Lucy's going to take one at least.
That would be advisable.
Okay. So as this happens, you remember you had some music last week, or some notes that were ringing out, and they went do 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 do.
I fell into a burning ring of fire.
I'm still not sure why I like that song so much.
Okay.
Ah, dear.
So I guess we're heading...
Oh yeah, hand one to Cleo as well, since he got a bit messed up by the spikes.
Yep.
Cool. I have sorted Cleo out, by the way. So he is a level 12 druid, and because I didn't want to level him up and stuff as we went along, so so I just thought we'd give him a high level thing so we could heal the group because we didn't have a healer at that point. So
I think we have found our tank.
And yeah, he's only got like 70 something hit points, but he what was it saying? He I noticed that he's supposed to be able to use spells up to level 6 spells, but he's only getting up to level 3. It's all because I'd put in his druid level as level 6 in the spell thing and not level 12. So I've sorted that now. I've also sorted his spell DC so it no longer says 32 whenever I roll. It should be 17.
17's still really high though, like I'm not gonna lie.
And his scimitar I was getting wrong, and his his flame blade I was getting wrong. Whilst it looks like a scimitar, it's his spell DC to attack. It's his spell modifier to attack, and then he gets 3d6 damage rather than 1d6, which is a scimitar. So I've sorted all that out now. We live and learn.
Just for the record, that Cleo is 3 times as strong as I am. Just Varric is 23 hit points just in total, and
he might be, but he's not a very offensive character. So he's a lot of his spells are like being able to walk through a tree and things like that. They're very kind of
what a nerd.
Yeah, so he's got Thunderwave and he's got 1 or 2 others that are higher up, but so anyway, so he rather than wasting a potion, he's probably going to cast himself a spell to heal himself at this point. Sure.
Is Amanita still was that a spider?
No, she turned back, didn't she? Partway through the room. I think she turned back so she could talk to you. So.
Alright, so Corsk will continue leading the way and appear around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
So 16 onto his health. That's good. That's got him back up to full, pretty much.
Right.
Varric will follow after Corsk as well, and then Amanita behind Varric.
Is there incoming stuff from Lucy, though, before I do something else?
Oh, yeah. He, after seeing that the first person was safe, is just going to be like, no. And walk ahead.
Okay.
Are we still attached by rope as well?
I've taken mine off at this point. I've let mine go.
Lucy hasn't let go, so he's just dragging rope around with him.
Yeah, it's just like Corsk creeps around the corner trying to be like, like scouting, and then Lucy just stomps past him and drags him up the corridor.
Lucy will keep going until he's stopped.
All right, and
I'd like to think that Corsk is being dragged by his ankle, like the rope slipped down at this point because of all the motion. He's just falls behind.
It's like the big fish in Resident Evil 4,
Yeah.
but much friendlier.
Actually, this all depends on whether Lucy's strong enough to pull Corsk.
Are we gonna? Should we do a opposed strength check then? See if this works.
Corsk's nails versus Lucy's thighs. That's what it is.
Come on, thighs. It's not been a leg.
+3, and +3 from magical strength. So that's 18 from Corsk.
So it's not a leg day.
Nails in the floor as you've been dragged along.
I kind of just
So he just springs up and immediately just like braces himself on the rope. The breastplate flares and Lucy just like it's like he's being dragged gently forward still, but it's more like what happens when you get a dog on the lead rather than like the big fish in RE4.
Cool. So you're partway down corridor.
And incidentally, that thing on the dog, yes, that is personal experience.
Being taken for a walk.
Yeah, God.
Cool. So, what's next?
Can Corsk will skip one of his what do they call them? Magical tinkering stones down the hall to light it up a bit more.
Are they just essentially? Sorry, just to cut in. Are they essentially just like glow sticks, but like rocks?
Sort of, yeah. It's was it bright light in 1 foot, and then dim light for another foot. So they're pretty they're pretty weak, but it doesn't cost anything to make them.
That's fine. I was just wondering, just for a bit of
So
reference.
it's less than a square's worth of light in total then.
2 squares worth. Of course, can see that. Can see the
It's
dim
10.
stuff.
So it's 10 feet then.
Uh,
Each square's 5 foot.
right. Oh yeah, you're right. It is 5 foot.
Cool. Fine. Cool.
Glow
Sorry.
sticks then. They are just definitely glow sticks then. Just
Yeah.
So all
Sorry.
you see, all you see is this continuation of corridor, and you can see the wall disappears around here. So it's as though it's letting into a bigger room without a door.
now, my friends, I think as we get further into this system, we should begin to stealth a bit. We should try and sneak around and see what's going on, because I don't want to come across any more sorcerers and have to murder everyone because we don't want a bad reputation. So I would recommend sneaking.
Did you tell that to Lucy?
No, after hearing that, Lucy thinks, okay.
Cool.
So I guess
We roll stuff.
Sorry?
Do we roll stuff?
You can roll stealth, yeah.
I'm gonna, as once everyone's kind of stealth and stuff like that, I'm gonna try and sneak my way up to the corner. So I'm gonna try and come here and potentially peek around in just a second, and then Amity will follow on behind, just slightly. I'm gonna roll my stealth and Amity stealth. I gotta make sure I do hers as well. It's fine.
So, as you reach the Cleo rolled a 12, 13. So Varric is quite noisy, and Cleo's a little bit noisy. Everybody else is stealth.
Amity is like a ghost, just.
Oh yeah, there is the
That-
slightest of fluttering as she.
Is
Well, she's a good.
real?
You can just hear the slightest of flutterings behind you. So, Korsk, at this point in time, can see round the corner. And what he sees is a man who looks still. You can only see the back of him. He's in chainmail, dark hair. There's a sword on the floor. And his ankle is tied across like a rafter in the roof. And you can still hear the music going. Do 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 do.
Question: does Lucy recognize any of this?
Not necessarily, no.
That's alright then. Specifically Vision-esque. Does he recognize any of this?
Vision-esque. No.
Cool, that's fine.
I won't even ask you to roll. No.
Slightly heavier armor than could be expected for mages, but perhaps he's a guard of some kind. Don't see why he would be chained to the roof, though.
Stumbling over my staff, I kind of peer in the corner. Just, I don't know. I don't like it though.
Mhm.
Seems very suspicious.
Do you think he's alive?
Probably.
He's standing straight. I don't see why he wouldn't be at this time.
Maybe he's hiding from something. I mean, his sword's on the floor. He could have seen something, and he's kind of just shat his pants, and he's frozen in place. So maybe, just maybe, we
So
can.
he's literally hogtied, like not hogtied, but his ankle. He's got a noose round his ankle, and he's been strung up effectively. So he's hanging down from the ceiling.
Oh,
Unconscious.
sorry. I thought
Oh,
he was
right,
standing.
okay.
And I thought the
Yeah.
rope was loose around his ankle. Like he was like there standing upright, but like the rope was like tied around his ankle. Yeah, that makes sense. No, I think he's dead. He looks. Throw one of your rocks at him, Korsk.
At this point, you might notice that Lucy is no longer there.
Oh,
Lucy,
hang on a minute.
and
Hang on a minute.
Korskin will go with you immediately.
Right,
Okay.
okay. So, hang fire.
It's a natural one. I couldn't help it.
Hang fire. As you walk into the room, well, as Lucy walks up, I'm yeah, you
Yeah. Korsk saw it in time for once in his life.
as you move to there, as you go to approach the gentleman, you get a one side. I actually open up the right set of notes. You hear a and this rather large ring of fire.
There it is.
I think.
And I was
we
trying to
all
disguise the song a little bit, so
Yeah,
you
I
could
think
get it
we-
once I said it, but not the thing. But of course, Charlie got it.
I think we all know that that's not going to stop Lucy, and he's going to keep going.
Okay. So
I think Korsk will drop the rope if you're going to do that.
Oh yeah, he's let go of the rope. No, I've still got the rope.
or we can just assume that the rope burns
Yeah.
as he walks. So Lucy walks across. Right, I need to. There is no way of escaping it because it's like floor to ceiling. Sorry, I'll re-roll that.
If the guy is alive, I just want to point out that he'll be terrified seeing this, tiefling, this demon walk through fire, horns and just everything's on fire.
For some reason, I just think that in Lucy's head, he's hearing sort of "Working for the Weekend" by the Loverboys, just playing it.
So everyone else is hearing heavy metal.
Okay. So you take, because you're resistant to 2 hit points of fire damage, 2 points of fire damage as you cross the ring.
If there's a moment, can Korsk will take out his tools and run a detect magic on the area.
Okay, could you roll your
What sort of roll is it? So it's
or is it just like is
it's you sense it. You can see an aura around anything that bears the magic and learn its school.
Oh,
I suppose I could run like a Arcana check or something too.
yeah, do an
Yes,
Arcana check because it's
um,
fairly
Oh,
safe.
yep,
Okay,
didn't miss
cool. So, there is a proximity trigger to this ring of fire. So it is a spell. It is a form of ancient magic. It is almost like a fireball spell, but hollow somehow. You've a feeling that actually it would be a sphere. Should the room be tall enough, but it's not. So you get the feeling that the ground will probably get warm eventually as well.
Yeah,
And the ceiling might burn away, and collapse if it goes on for too long.
Okay. Is is it a case of once it's triggered, it's triggered permanently, or if we, for instance, kind of backed up enough, would that deactivate it?
Yes.
Okay.
It would deactivate at that point.
Lucy, you don't want to spend too long in there. The spell, it's going to erode. It's going to erode the roof beams eventually.
What about this guy? So at least check if he's alive.
You're welcome to check, but we should back up and make a plan before proceeding.
But if I leave now, I'm going to get burnt again. And if I leave and then have to come back in, I'm going to have to get burnt again.
Lucy, I'll come. I'd shouting through the fire. Lucy, I'll come through with you. Just give me 2 seconds.
Wait a minute. I'm just going to check him out. It'll be 2 minutes, right?
Lucy, please wait. Please.
Lucy, we don't know whatever spells lie dormant in the area.
So I'm going to check the guy, see if he's alive.
I will add that was the only spell you could find in that immediate room.
Yeah.
But again, there's an aura of magic all around you. But a bit more distance, if you know what I mean.
While Lucy's getting close to check out the guy, I'm going to cast Blink on myself to try and pass through the wall of fire.
Okay. Cool. How's that work? Do you just...
Let me read out. Roll a d20. At the end of each of your turns for the duration of the spell, on a roll of 11 or higher, you vanish from your current plane of existence and appear in the ethereal plane. The spell fails if the casting is the casting is wasted if you're already on that plane. At the start of your next turn, and when the spell ends, if you're on the ethereal plane, you return to an unoccupied space of your choice that you can see within 10 feet of the space you vanished from.
Cool. That's fine then. Roll your d20.
Awesome. Disappear.
You disappear. So in the meantime, Lucy, you see that this guy is warm to the touch.
Just can't tell if he's alive or anything, or if he's alright.
It doesn't feel like it feels like a natural warmth rather than a warmth of the fire. So he's alive. He's just unconscious.
He feels warm.
Yeah, does he have a pulse?
Does he have a pulse?
Do a medicine check.
No.
Oh wait, no, that's not bad.
You feel a pulse.
Yeah.
He's a bit battered, like he's got a black eye. Looks like he's been in a bit of a tumble.
Somebody lost a fight.
Or triggered a simple trap just to pull up by his foot.
Yeah. Does anything happen if you it's like, can you release him?
It's just a rope. You know, you can, and he's like a foot off the ground. His head's a foot off the ground, so you could potentially reach up and cut the rope.
I could cut the rope, or I could teleport him out of here. But then I'm kind of useless for a while.
Hold that thought on the teleport. And after Lucy cuts him down, Quartz will take out his... I've forgotten what it's called. It's like a tool shaped like a pyramid with the psionic organ suspended in it.
Okay.
And he'll cast Vortex Warp on the guy.
Cool.
And we'll put him in the corridor.
In the corridor with you?
About here, I think. Just a little way back.
Okay.
So I'll move him.
So Lucy will just stand. What about me?
I appear beside Lucy at this point. Lucy, I said not to touch you. What are you doing?
2 seconds.
Like, Apologies, Varric. We made plans in your absence. We'll have to back up into the corridor to find out more about this bloke.
Varric appears and Lucy just, "Ah!"
I've been gone too. And I disappear again.
I'm having another potion, and Lucy just walks out the ring.
Not one of mine, you're not.
Lucy walks out the ring. Okay, sir.
And of course, we'll also move back to where this guy is now.
Oh, you took another 2 damage.
Yeah. Hence why he's having another potion.
So at this point, when you all make your way back into the corridor, I'm assuming Varric's going to head that way as well.
Yeah, because I can still see and I can still hear on the ethereal plane. So everything's just like grey essentially. So I just like teleport through like the fire and stuff like that. But I'm not going to deactivate the spell. I'm just going to keep it going. So I'll be popping in and out the whole time.
So the ring of fire disappears. So, what's he doing?
Is this guy human?
He's human.
I don't suppose anyone knows anatomy or resuscitation for chimps like this. It's not exactly my first subject.
I reappear. Korsk, you need to stop calling people chimps. It can be really quite a fit. I disappear again.
I can try to wake him up.
Well, as long as the lesson isn't finished, I refuse to learn from it. Of course, we'll take his fist and just smack the guy on the chest with it.
No. Well, that's close to what I was going to do, but like, if you want to wake someone up, you slap them in the face.
Just the heart.
Sounds like a cheap stage play to me, but be my guest.
Okay.
Oh.
Is he awake?
Just beating the shit out of this guy while he's on the ground.
It worked.
Hey, you right there?
What happened? Who are you?
Well, for now, that's not important. We're more interested to know how you came to be strung up, like meat at an orchard. Do you remember what happened before you passed out?
Yes, we were doing a bit of exploring and we were set upon by a bunch of sorcerers. They...
So you're independent then?
I was strung up. That must
Yes,
be why my leg is sore.
By your ankle. Look nasty.
Yes.
Who would believe him?
Roll an insight check.
I reappear. Man, I really don't like this spell, man. I think it's kind of... I just disappear again.
So, you don't know what to think of him. You eye him suspiciously, but he seems to... Why would he lie? You know the sorcerers are in there.
Well,
He's clearly not a sorcerer.
Well then, sir, how did you get in through the front gate exactly? There was supposed to be 2 lookouts.
Yes, well, you know, some of our party were quite well. How should I say? Skilled in espionage, silent stalking and what have you. And how should I put it? We had a good sense of, the 2 people outside were really, really old. They weren't any good, decent lookouts. I thought I would struggle to sneak past them, but it was rather easy, actually.
Incontinence is our ally, it seems.
Well, my father would have been proud. Hopefully, I mean that's why I'm here. I'm He's a famous soldier, in the Emperor's army, and I'm forever having to prove myself to him, and this is. I heard that there was a set of ruins that had been discovered, and I thought I'd hire a few helpers, a few mercenaries, and we head down here and see if we could find some rich pickings. But well, that's
so
them. But for us, for me, it's for the glory. But
so you're a professional looter then?
No, I'm just trying to impress my father, who's in the army. He's got an expectation, you see, of what his son should be like, and he's forever putting me down, and I just wanted to prove myself to him, but unfortunately, it looks like they've left me for dead. Some sorcerers attacked us. I don't know where the rest of my band have gone. They could have escaped the tunnels. They could have gone further in. I don't know.
I reappear. Lucy, I swear, if you say scales of hair one more time, I'm gonna beat you. I swear. This guy's lying. I just quickly turn to the guy. He's lying. I bet he is. I don't trust him.
No, look. And what you see in front of you is a rather tall, gangly looking young man. Probably late teens, early 20s. Very clean shaven, big black eye at the moment. Armor looks as though it's brand new out the box. Barely ever been scratched. The sword on the ground was quite shiny as well. It looked like a new sword. He's clearly been given some armor and things as a gift and decided that he would go and try and prove himself with very little experience. But he looks fairly strong, though. He looks as though he could potentially handle himself in a fight. He's certainly got the physique, but just, albeit looking quite odd, because he's quite tall and his legs and arms are quite long compared to the rest of his body.
Well, living up to expectations is certainly a burden. And what's your name?
Well, Volta.
Volta. Okay.
Yeah. Volta Rimsman III of Lyphia.
Rimsman.
Yeah.
So we would be calling you just Volta from now on.
Fine. That's fine.
You say you came with a group.
Yes. There was me, a couple of rogues, and a spell sword, but I don't know where they've gone. No idea. We walked into that room and were set upon. The flames burst around us, and I don't know, we just...
You were set upon by what? Or who? Sorcerers?
Yes, there were 4 or 5 of them.
Man, sorcerers kind of suck, don't they?
Quite territorial, actually. I don't know why. I mean, it is rumoured that this particular ruin belonged to a famous sorcerer, but as far as I'm concerned, the rule of the land is that any new ruin that is discovered is free for all to explore.
Finders keepers. I like that rule.
I like that rule too. I'm sure Amanita, wherever she may be at this current moment in time, I lost sight of her a second ago, but I'm sure she would agree too. Listen, my friend, we too are just a humble bunch of adventurers looking for some good loot.
Lucille just whispered. Humble?
Lucy, I swear, Lucy. Please, if you could join us, and we could probably help you get back to your friends or something like that. And then, hey, while we're exploring, you get your cut, we get our cut.
So could we retroactively do a sleight of hand check, please, Lucy? And Varric, could you do a perception check, please?
Lucy is gonna get burnt, I swear. Or tased.
Wouldn't do any good if you burned him.
Oh, yeah, I suppose. I got 14.
So you find...
Yeah, I got a 9.
You feel something on your back, and then you kind of stretch up and you find this piece of paper that says Hairy Boy stuck to the back of you.
I kind of just hold it, like, kind of look up on my front of face and kind of just discharge a bit of electrical energy and kind of just turn it to burn it up a bit. Lucy, we're going to have a talk later. I think we should discuss my skills later.
So, Volta, as you see, humble band of adventurers. One more question before we decide what our situation is. Do you remember anything about what happened to the rest of your party before you became unconscious? When you were set upon by the sorcerers? Did they survive?
I don't know. I was hit on the head fairly quickly, I believe. I think it was from above. A bit of debris from the ceiling for some reason. It's all a bit sketchy. It's just pictures in my mind rather than... all a bit confusing, be sure. But if you don't mind, I'm more than, I'm capable with the sword. I can. If
Can
you're
you promise?
exploring, I can come with you and obviously the sorcerers are quite territorial, so they might set upon us all.
It would be useful to have some extra muscle, Varric.
I agree. I don't doubt that, but I doubt his particular skills. Now, Mr. Rimsworth,
Brimsman.
Of course, sorry. Mr. Rimsman.
Falter Brimsman.
Brimmy!
Brimsman or Rimsman? I can't. Rimsman. Okay.
Fulter. Falter. Brimsman.
Brim.
I
heard.
It is Falter then.
Falter.
Yeah, I was saying Falter.
Brimsman. Yeah.
Falter Brimsman.
I heard Rimsman. I was just like
Falter Brimsman. The third of life here.
Well, as long as you can promise, Fulter, that your dad didn't just buy you that armor, and that you don't mind getting a bit rough and tumbled, I'm sure we'll get on just fine.
Okay. He didn't buy it. It was a gift from the Emperor.
I kind of walk up to him, pat him on the shoulder a bit, and then I just drag my nails across the front of the chest plate to scratch it a bit.
What did you do that for?
You're an adventurer, son. Welcome to the club. I kind of just turn my back on him and kind of walk down the hallway.
And so he will be keel-hauled on the way back. It'll be interesting, Varric, to see what happened to the rest of his party. The sorcerers have no reason to want word of this place getting out to other adventurers.
Well, if that's the case, they're probably dead. I'm not going to lie. I mean,
But if that's the case, then why was he still alive here?
a warning, perhaps? He was a lure. He's bait. I mean, look at the firewall. When we get close to that specific point he was in the middle of, it was it triggered when we got close to him. So I reckon that, you know.
Exactly, but why have a single trap that was fairly straightforward to circumvent for all three of us?
I mean, I think we're quite a particular group.
I have a question. It may be a dumb question. So how are we all getting across the room?
So do you want to try going across?
Quick question for Wayne.
Yep.
Was did the wall of fire actually extend to the edges of the room?
Not the bottom edge, but both the sides.
Okay, so some of it is covered.
Yeah, I'll put it back on there so you can see where it is.
Lucy having a moment of as intelligent as he can be. Not the best idea to just like run through the room. And also was wondering if the roof already fell on this guy and his group. Why is it still there?
There's a couple of lumps of rubble on the ground, as though it's starting to gradually give way.
So really we just need to run. That's probably our best bet, right?
Yeah. So can I just also say there are 2 exits?
Okay.
So there is one. Oh, let me go on to the right. Make sure I'm on the right thing. There is one there. And there is one there, which has a door immediately there. That you will have spotted when you were in the middle of the room.
Okay. One more thing.
Flipped a coin, and he's going to go for the lower one with the door.
Okay.
So after Lucy starts moving, Corsk will take one of his stones, and actually we don't need light, do we? We've got a ring of fire in the middle of the room. Is there any like apparatus or like mechanism of some kind in the roof?
No. There's just rafters. So you would have you can see scorch marks in them when you've got light in there and it's not. The other thing I would say is the proximity sensors were fairly low in the room. So you would have potentially concluded that he was hoisted up for a reason.
Okay. Yeah. Perhaps flight then would be the solution to this.
To the other door at this point.
Varric, do you have if you have the sufficient strength left, could you hoist myself and Amanita by flying across?
I mean, Amanita can fly. She's doing it right now. I can hear it just slightly. I can hear it. It's there. But yeah, I can carry you. But what about Cleo? Cleo can't fly. Or our new friend, Fulter. He can't fly either. Can you, Fulter?
No. No, I can't. Abilities pass me by, unfortunately.
See, useless. Already useless.
Where was the proximity sensor in a particular spot in the room?
So it's kind of all around, but it's low down.
Right. Yeah.
It's kind of around the edge of the ring, and even in the middle of the ring, it's there. So Lucy has managed to sneak around the wall without taking any damage.
Lucy will shout back, "I can fly!" And I can carry people if they don't mind going in the pants.
Lucy, you might need to come back. We need you to fly some people in the pants.
So Fulter,
Okay.
It's like, well, I guess we know who's going in the pants.
Fulter's just looking a bit shocked by the mention of going in pants. What are these magic pants? Are they the pants of flight?
Not exactly.
We have like a forget me stick. Do we have like something we can bonk him with so he doesn't have to remember the experience?
Who can't
Not
fly?
like the sound of this.
Don't worry, Fulter. It's fine. If you want to remember, I'm sure Lucy doesn't mind either.
Well, how many do I need to carry across?
How many you can fly? Cleo can't fly. Fulter can't fly. Korsk can't fly. So it's 2 people to fly. No, wait, 3 people to fly.
Mm.
And
I suppose I could use my psionic rig again to get across the room, but that would leave me without a fair share of tools for the next challenge.
I have room for both Cleo and Korsk to go in the pants, and Lucy just holds them open at that point.
I think we're overthinking this a little bit. Perhaps you can cast fly and then carry us, but one by one. You can make multiple trips.
no, it's all or nothing, Cleo.
Yep.
We're not doing this multiple times. I want it done in one fell swoop. Get in the pants.
Lucy just managed to get across there without...
Cleo,
Unless you're going to the other exit.
It's like, well, Walter, after you.
Is this really necessary?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Always. If it wasn't necessary, you wouldn't be here. You would be through this room no bother already. You know, I'm just saying. Your friends could be anywhere. They could be stuck in other traps, which may require them to get into other people's pants. And sometimes, Fulter, you just gotta make that sacrifice and go in the pants and see what you find. Not find. Don't find anything down there, please. Please don't.
in the pants, Lucy will say, if you take anything, you're not getting out.
You will be permanently imprisoned in the pants.
You will be dead in 10 minutes.
The pants of jail cell, that's it.
Well,
I'll carry you, Fulter. It's fine. I can carry you, but...
okay. Could you roll a persuasion check, please?
Me.
Yeah, well, you or Lucy with advantage because you got help.
Oh, I'm going to say at this point...
Persuasion, not perception.
Oh, it was a perception. No!
I think at this point, at hearing like mention of somebody, this new man, taking things from the bag of holding, Lucy is going to try and scare the shit out of him and intimidate him to the point where he wouldn't dare dream of taking anything from the pants of holding.
Okay, do an intimidation check then, please.
Did you say it was persuasion with advantage, or...
You were
It
persuasion
was
with
persuasion with advantage, yes.
Okay.
At this point, Lucy was staring daggers at him.
So you're staring daggers at him, he is completely oblivious.
Yeah, I'll take an unnatural 20. There we go. That's better.
Okay. So you have persuaded him to... and Cleo to get into the pants, say.
Oh, wait.
Oh,
Are
well,
you carrying him?
well, now that we have that sorted out, I'm going
Yeah, I
to
thought
try my luck
Cleo
squeezing
was-
through the fire.
I thought Cleo was going in the pants of Korsk. I thought I was going to carry
If it's
Fulter.
going in the pants, you can carry them.
I can carry someone as well. So I thought I had
Looks there's no
three.
pants involved.
They're in the pants, but we have to be quick because, you know, they've only got a certain amount of air.
We can take our time. We've got 10 minutes. So you said.
No, well, it's more like 5.
Which exit are we going to?
I'm still going to the lower one.
Let's just... Yeah, we'll go to the lower one. If we need to go to the top one, we can. We can redo this. I'm sure it's fine.
So
Why are we flying then? If look at it, because Lucy just managed to walk around.
Yes, Cleo, yes. I proceed to just float away.
Of course, we'll. Oh yeah, you're going with Varric. Yeah.
Yeah. So as you fly, you notice it's not. The flames aren't there. Right. Okay. So you have a door in front of you. What are you doing?
Sorry, pigeon. All right.
Should we go through it?
Force was taking out his tools to take a look for any more traps this time, but Lucy's beat him right to it.
Oh no, he's not. That was Lucy just asking. Like, should we go through it?
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Do you want to do an investigation check then?
Sure.
Sam? Okay. As far as you can... So... As far as you can tell, there is nothing about the door that is trapped or has a trigger on it. However, you can see mechanisms behind the door.
I was just like peering through the keyhole, or like brack or something.
Yeah, so looking round the door, you can see mechanisms kind of through beyond the crack behind, as though there is some sort of mechanism behind it, but it doesn't seem to be attached to the door.
Right. Hold up, Lucy. Hold up. There's something rigged behind this door. Maybe it triggers when we step onto the outside, onto the next room. Or through the next corridor.
Well, what if it was somebody very light?
Well, we don't know if it's pressure triggered yet. I'm not close enough to really tell exactly how the mechanism works, but given what happened last time, it could well be movement triggered once we start pushing the door frame open.
So he just holds his cheeks for a minute and...
As far as you can see, the door opens out of the room that you're about to head into. So it opens towards you.
Well, as a precaution then, I recommend we stay out of the centre of this corridor. Just flatten yourselves against the walls as I open the door.
Okay.
Okay, and Korsk will very slowly pull the door open. And kind of keep the frame between himself and beyond. Is basically expecting something like a fireball or darts or something to come out at the end.
So you slowly open the door. You can see cogs and stuff on the walls just beyond the door frame. And you can see a groove along the floor, the other side, and a groove above the door. However, nothing happens when you open the door.
And is it possible to peek into the room and then kind of frame my character's neck around to look up at the upper section behind it?
Okay. All you see is you kind of look up. You mean behind the door, so to see above the door if there's mechanisms again?
Yeah, like I'll be actually upfront about this. With the grooves, I'm thinking something like the boulder trap.
So you can only see cogs on the walls next to it. There is a groove at the top and a groove at the bottom. It's about an inch thick. Well, actually more like an inch thick, but it looks as though, well, is it an inch? It's probably more like 4 or 5 inches thick, actually, but it's a groove, and then all you can see is concrete at the top of it. Okay. And then same at the bottom, all you can see is concrete, but there's groove, but there's cogs either side.
Does it slope the corridor at all?
Nope.
Okay, it's fine. Alright, now or never then. So Korsk will carefully step into the room and try to take a closer look at the cog mechanism and see what it's connected to. So,
As you walk into the room, you notice a number of runes on the far wall opposite you glow. You do a Arcana check, please. Okay. So it reads, "Freedom for the virtuous."
okay, I think I see. But I'm not sure what to do. Freedom for the virtuous.
See anything, Korsk? Are you alive?
Yeah, stay away from the groove. I'm not sure what else to do at this point, but freedom for the virtuous is the hint we're being given by the runes at the end of the corridor. I have a suspicion, but whatever you do, stay away from that groove in the bottom of the corridor.
Give us a minute. I just realised I've not done the lighting thing yet. There you go, you can see into the room.
No, that's... Is to roll to avoid a craving.
Sorry?
If a character is trying not to do something, but they have the urge to do it, craving was the only word that came to my head. What would you advise to roll to save?
So if it was like a craving, like you wanted to eat chocolate, or a dependency, then it would be Constitution. If it was you're trying to decide whether or not to do a natural urge. Let me have a quick look.
Because every time Korsk has said something, Lucy wants to do something.
Okay.
And he's trying. This is a complete waste of time, but I'm sorry.
I know, it's absolutely fine. It's like Korsk is beginning to realise he needs to moderate his language a bit more. Yep.
So, could you roll 2 rolls, please?
Ooh, okay.
Because I'm thinking like fight or flight, natural instinct type of thing. So if you roll a survival in a fight or flight is a survival instinct against a wisdom roll.
Okay. Survival 22, wisdom 5.
So the urge wins.
Okay. Lucy starts just sambaing in front of the groove.
Starting what? Sambering?
Starts a wee samba. Yeah.
Okay. Nothing happened. Nothing happened.
Sorry.
Korsk is just staring at you, like... Well, okay. Trial and error. Korsk will carefully step into the room behind Lucy. I don't know why I keep saying it like that.
I was going to say it's just like Lucy, but without the T at the end.
Yeah, so one of my friends at school has a surname like that, Lucy, in the Italian.
At least you don't keep calling him after one of your children.
Yeah.
So you walk into the room. So do you want to move your tokens into the room?
Yep. So Korsk will be behind wherever Lucy is.
Okay. So you all right? Okay. Nothing happens.
Well, filter, in you go. And I kind of just tell to go through.
Okay. Volta moves in then.
What was it? The rune said it was. Was it only the virtuous pass or something?
Freedom for the virtuous.
Freedom for the virtuous.
So, as the last person moves into the room, you hear a rumbling sound, and the door behind you, a stone door, just falls. But a thick stone gate, just like thick stone, just falls in front of where the door was, trapping you inside. You hear similar noises come from further down the room, as though others have happened. You see 10 runes on this particular wall just all light up.
Are they legible at this distance?
Just counts 1 to 10.
1 to 10. Is there a number associated with virtue?
Not that I'm aware of.
Varg just kind of starts moving down towards like the ruins just to see what, like, we get stuff out there.
Okay.
Can anyone read the runes?
They just read 1 to 10.
5.
Nothing happens when you shout 5.
That was worth a shot.
6. 1, 2. 6. Should we try that? I
You
touch
just shout.
one that says 6.
You reach up, you touch one of the runes. Nothing happens.
I'm still curious about this groove, actually.
The groove where the door fell.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the mechanism for the door,
Right.
is what you've worked out.
Right, yeah. It's like there was the door to get into the room, and then there was like this door to seal it.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So you're sealed into the room at the moment.
Okay.
Freedom for the virtuous.
I just look around the room. So is it like there's 2 stone doors as well, like down here? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, aren't we virtuous? We saved them.
Save who?
You know, Remy. Oh, sorry, Brimmy. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, we did save them, but I don't know if that means we're virtuous. I mean, our group is... Yeah, our group is group. I wouldn't say we're virtuous as say, though.
Let's try... Okay, course will walk up to the wall. Let's try 4.
Nothing happens.
It's not
Yeah,
4-leaf clover.
If we all touch 1, counting up? There's 6 of us, so if we do 1 to 6... Oh, no.
Wait. Get both your hands and touch 2 numbers. So 1 and 2, then 3 and 4, and 5 and 6. Let's do that. See what happens then.
Nothing happens.
Even if the whole group kind of touches like numbers 1 to 10. Yeah. Varric sits down against the wall and is just like, well, I guess this is our lives now, guys. It's been fun. I really enjoyed the traveling. I hope whoever finds my corpse in the future does not steal the money that I had left.
I can't promise that.
Well, who's to say I'm going to die before you, though, Lucy? I wouldn't...
It's interesting there are no corpses in the room at the moment.
Yeah, so somebody must have got out at some point.
Indeed. Perhaps we just need to sit and think on it. And Cleo
Eat the
goes and sits
doors.
down against this wall here.
Korska's still intently focused on the runes. Can I run a investigation check to see if the dust in the room has been? It's too late now. We've already disturbed it. Is there a number that? So we touched them all. Damn it! Should have done that first.
I'd like to check out that door on the right.
It is a stone wall between you and the door at the moment.
What about the wall opposite Cleo?
Do an investigation check.
Guys, this isn't my forte, just let you know.
All you see is runes that say freedom for the virtuous.
So this is clearly magical in nature. So Korsk will take out his tools and attempt to divine what the kind of like the structure of the puzzle.
This is going to run into the wall.
Okay. You take 1 hit point of bludgeoning damage.
Yep.
The wall does not move. So do you want to do an investigation check, Sam?
Okay. No luck this time.
You can tell that the mechanisms go up and down and that there's some sort of trigger in the room.
If we identified anything, would that help at all?
Give it a go.
Use the eyes of the curator to cast Identify on freedom for the runes that say freedom for the virtuous.
Congratulations, you found some arcane runes that glow.
Yay!
Upon a trigger.
Upon a trigger.
Are the No, that's not going to be right. I was going to ask, are the in looking at the gear mechanisms, are they holding the doors in place, or is it more that they just drop them down?
They probably were holding the doors in place. They're not anymore.
Let's just see if I could burn the mechanism, see if that would release it.
You get the feeling there's another mechanism further up that would wind them back, but you can't get access to it because the door's in the way.
Are there any gaps? Even small gaps?
The amount of grinding that happened when they came down, you would think not. Not that you could be able to purchase.
Well, more like if a tiny insect could climb up.
No.
Well,
Not unless it was an amoeba.
and
So,
just amoeba?
It's just those runes with 1 to 10, right?
Just
Besides
so
the...
it's 10, yeah.
So, from that, I mean, it was a weak investigation check, but do the runes actually respond when we touch them? Or are they more like display sense?
They don't respond at all.
Okay, so it might be another hint.
At this point, Fulter goes and sits next to Varric.
Don't worry, Fuller. We'll get out of here one way or another. I wasn't being serious when I said we're gonna die.
I thought I may as well rest up and grab myself a bite of rations. But while I wait for the rest of the group.
But yeah.
I think at this point, Amanita's probably feeling a bit irate, given that she has been imprisoned in her past, which Varric will know about, and she's feeling a bit edgy at this point in time.
Don't worry, Amanita. We'll get out of here. I promise. It'll be fine. We'll figure something out. Won't we, Cleo? What do you think about this situation?
I don't know. I'm trying. If I know anything about virtues, maybe we need to prove something by seeing anything that is a virtue we can do or show whilst in this room.
Telling the truth's a virtue, isn't it? Being honest.
I've often heard patience is a virtue as well.
That is interesting.
Upon hearing that, Lucy will lay down and go for a short rest.
In the meantime, Korska's still intently eyeing the runes, of course.
Okay.
So can I make a history check to see if he recalls any similar riddles from his study at the college?
Do a history check. No.
So, Korska releases a great big huff in the middle of the room, and is going to go and slump down next to Cleo. He's very annoyed.
Okay.
At not being able to solve this.
So everybody's kind of sat down at this point in time. After a minute or so, you see the rune that is number 10 flicker and then go out.
I hope that's not a countdown to instant death.
It's like what you said before, isn't it?
I hope.
Patience is a virtue.
Yeah. I'm sure there was like a song that went with it or something. Patience is a virtue. Virtue is a grace. Grace is a little dragon who didn't wash her face. That's what I was told.
I can't say I've heard that particular version of the story, but variants of it abound, yeah.
As you're discussing that, the rune with number 9 flickers and then disappears.
Well, is there any confessions that anyone wants to have before we potentially might all, Falter, I bet you got some confessions, right?
No, no. It would shame my family if I did anything wrong. We're very much in the public's eye, you know.
I don't doubt that, Falter, but, seeing as there might only be 8 minutes to live, I'm sure you don't want to die with any regrets.
I guess I always feel I'm just not good enough. I want to do better.
There's nothing wrong with wanting to be better, but you have to learn to appreciate your own virtues, not those. You can't transplant those from your father into yourself.
You're not your dad. And I think that's what Kor's trying to say, and you should appreciate who you are instead of what he is.
He just nods and stays quiet, thinking.
Leo, you got any regrets you want to pass off before we die? Or might die? We might not. I'm not saying there is, but...
I could think of a few.
Joining this group might be one of them, I think.
I don't know. You have your You have your good points. At this point, number 8 flickers and disappears.
Lucy, you got any regrets if Cleo's not going to share?
As you turn to Lucy, all you hear is the wheels on the wagon go round and round, round and round. The wheels on the wagon go round and round all day long.
I can't tell if he's traumatized or he's just in his own space.
I wouldn't disturb him. It's cute.
I think I've heard him singing it when he's been driving before.
I don't think we should let him drive anymore.
At this point, number 7 flickers and disappears.
What were you asking, Varric? Sorry, I was deep in thought.
Any regrets you want to get off your chest before we might die?
Regrets? Well, we all have regrets, but, you know. If you didn't have regrets, would you have lived life?
Surely as life goes on, you pick up regrets as you go.
Of course.
Besides, action is as sure as way to create regrets as to not as inaction.
Blame me for my actions then.
Very well. Moving on, Varric, there's a question I wanted to ask you for a while now.
Sure.
Are you native to Catan, or did you and Amanita come from the Dragonclaw Republic?
I came from Dragonclaw. Amanita's from elsewhere. She's yeah.
I see you met on the road then.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. It was a weird one. I was sleeping in one of the taverns that I was traveling around in at one point, and I came across Amanita hiding out in one of my pockets for a while, and I just thought it was a mushroom, and I kind of just good snack to keep later on, and eventually she spoke to me, and I've been with her for a while now since.
Yeah, it's an inauspicious start to a friendship, I suppose.
Yeah.
At
this point, the number 6 flickers and disappears. I'll just hold my hand up while you guys chat, and I'll just...
So I was wondering, though... Sorry, I'm trying to find the right point in the document. When you travelled to Catan, you two didn't pass through... Ankles Fork, did you?
Now, excuse me while I rack my brain to try and remember where that is.
It's on the main trading road from the north from Dragon's Foot, one of the main towns of Dragonclaw, to Katan City.
Hold on. Getting the overview up, so I'm just panicking, just trying to.
Lucy will also start writing on some paper that he has a few notes. Just quietly.
No, I think I kind of went around. I didn't go through Ankle's Fork when I was leaving Dragon's Foot.
Oh, my God.
I kind of went around and up and through, and I've been all sorts of places. I mean, when I met these guys, we were just we were near Aaron's Mouth and stuff. So I went all the way up around the coast and all that jazz. It was quite the adventure.
That's good. That's good. It's a relief.
Why?
Amanita's animosity, I suspected it might have had something to do with you traveling through that area.
No, she wasn't with me then. I had met Amanita kind of a good couple months after I left Dragon's Foot. That was a long time ago. Well, say months, it could have been years. I've not seen home in a long time.
You wouldn't know. When I first encountered the group, Amanita was the one who seemed to have the most animosity for my presence, and it was never very clear why. I feel that's more or less water under the bridge at this point, but I was curious to know if she'd ran into any of my people in the past.
This is out of character. I can't remember if Jess has mentioned anything of that sort, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't think so. I don't think so. Maybe down the line, she's kind of, I don't know. I haven't really spoken to Emily much about her past. I kind of admit, I've got lots of stories, so I kind of get rambly and kind of keep talking for a while, so I don't listen too often.
So, as you guys are talking, you start to hear a rumbling sound above your head.
Well, looking at the clock, there's 2 minutes to go, so anything else we got to talk about?
Or damnation or salvation.
Yeah. I don't have any regrets. I think I've lived my life to the fullest. Yep. No regrets. Varric over here. He's living life.
So at this point, you can see Cleo just holding onto his staff rather tightly. Kind of, his knuckles are pretty white as he's doing it. We seem to have lost a Charlie.
Yeah, no. Because internet may have cut out. He's dropped off entirely.
Yeah, he was struggling with his camera a couple of minutes ago. So
Suspense. What point to drop out?
So Cleo's looking rather nervous. It's the first time you've probably seen him not look calm. Walter is busy stuffing his face with his rations, trying not to notice what's going on around him, listening to you guys talk to each other, and just make sure Charlie's back before I go on. Yes, awesome. We are back.
Right.
So I'll go back to how I was. Pardon me. And then we just have to wait for Cameron to pop back.
I don't know why. I'm the only one in the building using Wi-Fi just now. It's just the same.
Yeah. Our internet went down at like 2 a.m. last night. That's just like,
So the thing I was going to say is, before the timer ran out, Lucy would have given Korsk, Varric, and Cleo a note each. But without getting up, he would have just kind of thrown it to them. that said the same thing as the one Anna Manita got. That Lucy owes them one no questions favour. As thanks for not letting him die.
Is this you redistributing favours?
No, he's thankful that they didn't let him die when fighting the Brown Hoods, and
It's like,
in
out of
case
character.
they all died in the room, he would have just given them one each to be like, yep, just in case. He would have done it one-on-one instead of that, but...
So, just out of character, Costa would appreciate that, but I'm not sure that giving him a favour to cash in was such a good idea.
Oh, you don't know, Lucy. He'll do many things.
It's also, he's really looking at Lucy as kind of like... I mean, this guy rushes in a lot, and he's really chaotic, but he gets results from it. It's really useful.
He can be.
Okay, so I'm just going to put that in my inventory so I don't forget.
Cross, if we survive this dungeon, he will also be a little harder to kill. If we survive.
We're at a cliffhanger of waiting for this last light to go.
As Lucy hands over the last coupon in slow motion.
The world just dissolves.
So we've got like a rumbling sound above your head at this point in time, and that's been going on for about a minute at this point. Well, since 2 minutes came up, you had this rumbling noise above your head. And so there's like...
Increase in volume.
Sorry?
Lucy's singing would increase in volume. The tail on the horse goes swish, 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 swish. Just...
It's like...
trying to be patient. I'm getting images of course sort of being like victim of a bombing, just ears ringing, and all he's hearing is "We're Thunderbath, go do no."
Post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yeah.
Goes up into a ball.
Oh dear.
Oh yeah.
It's like, it won't get out of my head now.
So, one light left. You're hearing this rumbling above you. And then the final light goes off. All the runes in the room, there was a blue glow beforehand. Just freedom for the virtuous and what have you. Just go out. Then you hear the rumbling intensify. You feel the walls that you're sat against begin to shake. As the 3 doors begin to rise.
Course will very carefully stand up and start tiptoeing towards one of the doors.
Okay, which door would you like to tiptoe to?
Let's try this one. Okay. It's just waiting to see if the door responds and decides to start closing again as he does that.
No.
Okay.
Oh, I need to find the right room now. Ah, here we go. Here we go. So, are you opening the door? Or are you doing something else?
Yeah. Let's see what's beyond.
So, you can see the similar sort of mechanisms around the door from the inside. You open it, it opens outwards. And as soon as you open the door, you feel something pull you towards the center of the room. Could you do a strength check, athletics check, please?
Okay. Burning a strength charge. So there's a basically +3 to the result that actually is rolled.
Okay.
Not enough though. Crit fail.
Yay. So you move towards the entrance of the room. So I'm going to do strength saves for Fulter and Cleo as well, because they're in that little passageway. Sure. Athletics, wasn't it?
Lucy probably would have followed them. It sounded this. I'm sorry, I was doing something else. Probably be there as well.
So Fulter's failed. And let's do Cleo. Strength. Where's his saves? It's athletics, isn't it? Have I got that? No, he's not got anything special about that, so that's fine. It's just a straight strength roll. And he fails. So Cleo gets dragged towards the room as well. So what are the other guys doing?
Probably.
I'll kind of stay close to the ledge, and I'll kind of just watch this all happen.
Okay. I'm assuming Amanita moves down as well. So what are the rest? So what's Lucy doing at the moment?
He's just following Cleo and everyone. He's keeping an eye out for traps.
Okay, so there's no traps. You begin to feel a pull towards the door. But you're not close enough yet to feel compelled to move forward. Could
I can see something in the map. I don't like that.
Korsk, Cleo, and Fulter all make saves again, please.
Is there time to run a spell before the save occurs, or are we just actively fighting it?
You are fighting the pull.
Okay.
You could fail and cast your spell.
Okay. Is it just another 5 feet again?
Yes.
Okay. So Korsk will reach into his satchel and pull out a potion which swirls with a yellow glow from it. He'll chug the entire thing down, and then his body starts to expand upwards until he's about the height of what a human would look like. Only his weapons have grown with it. And that is a enlarge reduce cast.
So you've grown.
So it's effectively one size larger, so he would be small, so now he's medium. But he gets advantage on any further strength checks that he has to do.
Okay. Okay.
But he fails that first save because he's busy doing that.
Okay.
So, sorry, just to double check. So there's something either compelling or is it something pulling?
Pulling.
Pulling, okay.
Okay. So,
do we know that they're fighting against this back here, or?
Yeah, I think it's quite obvious that from your perspective.
Okay. Then Lucy is going to get a certain rod ready, just in case. Maybe tie some rope to it.
Okay.
That's a good idea, Lucy. I see him because I'm looking at him across the way. That's a good idea. I would do that. Can I stick my arm out just like in the doorway? Do I feel it like being pulled back or anything like that? Or
You feel it being pulled towards the doorway.
It's also like letting the rope go down the hallway. Does it stay standing and sort of go? Or
The rope, yes, stays standing and heads towards the room.
okay, guys, maybe you want to hold on to this. And I'll just click. The rope's tied to the movable rod, and I'll just let them catch the rope.
Okay.
The rope's 50 foot, isn't it, Charlie?
Yes.
We just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
How much of the rope have you tied to it? Or where have you tied it, I guess? Have you tied it in the middle? Have you tied it at the end?
About, should we say, 5 feet of the rope tied to the rod
Okay.
at the end of it, I guess.
Can we see the rope so as it heads into the room? Can we see it? Like, does it like curve down around the corner, or does it?
It curves down towards the black circle that you can see.
Oh, okay.
You get the impression that is the source of the attraction. I was going to do... Did I do filter? Yes, I did do filter, didn't I? So filter failed as well. Okay. So, Korsk, could you...
Burning another strength charge.
Yeah.
And it's athletics, right?
Athletics, yes.
Okay, with advantage. Okay. Roll 20 really hates me today.
Okay. You've got advantage, have you?
Yeah, that was with advantage.
Okay. So, can I just resize you a minute?
Sure. Yeah.
I'm just making you medium while you're enlarged.
Yeah, there's a giant kobold now scratching the floor as it's pulled across the room.
You've moved another 5 feet.
Turns to Varric and goes, is he always that big?
I don't think so.
So Fulter also moves towards...
You guys need to grab the rope. Grab the rope.
They're grabbing the rope. Their hands are burning. So...
Lucy, start reeling that rope in.
Yeah, I'm
Boy.
good. I'm not that strong. You seen the size of him? And I guess I'll try and
Oh, no, I'm
start
drawing.
trying to pull them back with a rope.
Okay. Could you do an athletics check, please?
I'm gonna help Lucy. I'm gonna like run up behind him, just like around the door for him, just grab the other end of the rope as well.
That's
Okay,
it.
do it with advantage then, given you being helped.
Oh, cool. Please be better than a 7. No! That'd be a natural 1.
You've just lost the rope. Bar, like a foot that's tied to the immovable rod.
At least we still have the rod.
Yeah. I'll pick up the rod and unclick it, put it back in my pocket, and just shout, guys, drop the rope!
Yeah. Korsk is just trying to cling onto the floor right now and gradually crawl his way back up, using his claws like crampons.
So, Korsk, as you feel the rope disappear into the black hole thing, you feel for a moment... No, not a moment. You can swear the force has reduced a little bit. Just a tiny fraction.
Lucy, drop something large, something heavy.
Does it have to be solid?
Yes.
So liquid's a no-go?
I can think of no reason why a liquid would work better. Just anything you can use. Hurry.
Okay, I'll try liquid. And I'll have the mug out, and I will, I guess, how many? Start pouring out Varric's whiskey. No! Okay, though, it's okay, Varric, it's okay. It's just for today. And while I'm standing there, the most that will come out is 20 gallons. Just enough.
I need to do maths now.
Yeah.
Varric is visibly tearing up, by the way. Just others.
Sorry, just need to get that.
Right, okay, so each gallon is 4.5 litres. Oh, actually. And, each litre. Right, okay. So 20 gallons. Oh, I need to do maths. Okay. So, Lucy does that, and you find there is a notable difference in the amount of weight, the amount of force being put upon you. However, it is still bloody strong enough to pull you along. So, strength saves it is. Athletics saves it is then, please. Again.
Advantage.
Yeah.
God, I'm going through the strength charges. Okay. There we go. So that's 21.
Okay, so you stay still.
Okay.
Okay. What did I do? Oh, as does Falter.
Tell me I haven't drowned them.
So the force is less, but it's still there, and notably less this time. So
Okay.
Cleo
So we got
ends up smacking into the back of Horsk. Could you take a hit point of damage, please?
Like, I'm strong enough that I kind of remain rooted and stop him moving any further.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
wait, I do have some.
Imagine as well when Lucy poured some of the last of the whiskey out. Of course, when he regains his footing, he just goes like,
It's alright, I'll have more tomorrow. Don't worry.
Varric's weeping. I just want to point out that Varric is weeping over the spilt whiskey everywhere.
I have more bottles in my bag, it's fine. I have more
So,
more Lucy, more. We need more water in there.
Oh.
so could we all do another strength check, please?
Is that
Okay,
one inside? Alright, okay.
this is the last strength charge.
Does Varric have to do one as well, sorry?
No. You're outside the pool. You,
Okay.
you can
Oh
just
my god, 12.
Okay. You are now against the sphere. You feel this hard metal-like substance. You're kind of like spread across it.
Oh, it's not like an actual black hole. It's like it's magnetic or something.
It is absorbing stuff, but you feel as though it's absorbing you slowly, if you know what I mean.
Oh,
It's like designed to absorb non-organic material by the look of it.
Non-organic. Okay.
Or non-living tissue. That's what
Oh,
I'd say.
okay. I've got some junk I can throw in there if you want.
So
Cool. Lucy
you need to
will...
tell me how heavy it is when you throw it.
Oh, I don't know. Because you didn't tell me. Just I can figure it
Figure it out.
out.
Also, Korsk's breastplate flares brightly one more time and then just completely dims as the last of the charge is expended.
So Cleo move. What am I doing? All right, move that to the back. In fact, let me move that to the map layer so it's not annoying me. All right, so he's moved one more, I think. Or have I not done it? No, that was his last one, so I need to do another strength save. Let's make sure this is Cleo, so it has failed, so he moves. And then Fulter,
Mint you in
pounds.
pounds. Okay.
I throw all of my rope as well, so that's another £10 going towards the.
Yeah. So that's fine.
How does the hole feel? Is it like burning or?
What, the pull?
Yeah, is it like
It just feels like magnetic force. So you're like it's like grabbing onto the edge. You're like the is it the Vitronius man or whatever they call him? The Vinci kind of blade. Tail down the middle.
It's like, yeah, you just grabbed all last minute and threw his ass.
It's like a cartoon when you see somebody attached to a ball and they're rolling, a bit like that.
Yeah.
So Fulton's managed to stay where he is for now. So, I guess we are. So you're starting to throw junk in. How much junk have you thrown so far?
So far, I have thrown in just shy of £40 of stuff.
Plus my 10 of.
And a rope.
So that was 17 rotten eggs, a leg of ham on the bone, with some of the witch's orange paste on it. A full turkey is next. I need to weigh it.
Turkey.
I imagine Korsk is now just spread eagled and he's just frantically dodging from side to side as all these random bits of food come flying at him.
So I'd say you could get a full turkey.
5.2 kilograms.
Okay.
So, yep, I'm measuring them out.
Okay.
That's another 11. So I would have, myself and Varric have thrown in about £60 worth of stuff so far.
Okay.
If we need more, it's just going to take me some time.
So, you feel the pull is getting less, but it is still pulling at you. Could you
throw your suit in?
Could you all do another strength save, please?
I'll buy you more. Throw it in.
Another £10 going in.
Okay.
Right, hold that. So,
There we go.
Fulter is now moving towards he's failed one. And Cleo, strength. Korsk, you have passed, so you don't feel as as bad.
Oh,
So,
I'm gonna have to.
Cleo's failed. So Cleo then gets smacked into Korsk again. So Korsk, you take a hit point of damage. And Cleo's going to move, kind of try and edge himself sideways as this is happening to stop damaging you.
I've thrown another 10 pounds of stuff in.
Lucy, throw the damn suit in.
No!
What suit? What suit?
What's me to throw in my plate armor? I'm not doing it. It's too
I'll buy
expensive.
you more.
It's expensive. It's like 1,200 gold.
Lucy, I will get you some custom dragon-made armor, dragon plate. I'll get you that if you just throw that suit in right now.
Just 2 seconds. I've done another 10. I've got lots of stuff in this bag. Just let me see.
It's like, Barrack, use the damn coupon!
Lucy, don't make me use this coupon. Don't make me use this.
I'm almost done.
favor.
I'm almost done. I swear. Just...
I could imagine if that was on the shoe was on the other foot, Lucy would probably throw the coupon towards it.
I know. Do you know? If I know how heavy these things are.
Right, could we do another round of strength saves, athletics saves, please?
15.
So,
God.
ooh.
God damn, I knew I took this spell for a reason.
That's another 10, so...
So you take 5 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh.
As you can feel your back trying to push through your front. You can feel some of your inner organs just starting to feel a little bit crushed.
Okay, another 50 pounds of stuff.
Another 50. Give me a minute, give me a minute, because I need to roll for the other guys. Athletics.
The stuff I was going to sell.
Oh, he's failed as well. So I'll move him sideways, but you took another point of bludgeoning damage because Fulter's just hit you on the back. Let's see what Cleo does. Oh, Cleo stands still.
Koska's just making inarticulate strangling noises as he feels his organs being moved about and then being punched in the stomach by Volta as well.
Okay, so another £50, you say?
Yeah. And just be careful, I say as I throw.
More random bits of food.
No, it's a bunch of great axes and great swords. Please be careful!
So it's... Could you roll an attack, please?
Oh no!
With an improvised weapon.
Alright, what is that going to be? Just unarmed?
Just deck. It'd be 20 plus your dex, I think.
Oh, that's fine. It's plain.
Okay, so the great sword bounces off Korsk's chest plate and spins into the abyss.
I don't have to do that for all of the weapons I've thrown, do I? Can we just
No,
count it as the
do
one?
it every time you throw weapons, or something big. Just to dex with a... I'm assuming you've managed to maneuver it so it just misses him, kind of bounces off his breastplate and then between his tail and his leg as it kind of drops down and into the sphere.
Sorry!
So another round of strength checks then.
Lucy, use the suit.
I don't know how heavy it is.
Wait. Strength. So Cleo passed again.
So expensive.
Fulter. Athletics. Oh, 26. He passed.
Can I make one to try and pull away from the sphere?
It stay still or or the thing is that strong that you using all your effort just to stay still. So that's the strength check, is to stay still until you manage to reduce the attraction enough for it to let you go. So, could you do another strength check, please? Athletics, sorry. You got advantage, haven't you? So that's fine. That's fine. You managed to just kind of use the spear itself to just kind of hold yourself back. So how many? I reckon how many pounds have you added so far on top of the beer? I think you're on
top of the beer. There was 60.
I think you're on about 132.
I think so. Yeah. I can do another £20.
Okay, try another 20.
Yeah, it's leather armor, 2 sets. It just comes away.
Are we actually running out of weight in the pants?
There's heavy things, but I don't know. Not much.
Lucy, I'm using my favor. Throw your armor in the...
Could you do another... Can we have another round of strength checks, please?
It's gonna keep going until you do something, dude.
Are you using your favor?
I'm using my favor.
So Fultus succeeded. Cleo has failed. And is now next.
That's another punch in the stomach.
Yeah, so you get one as he just kind of... One hit point as he kind of flings past. You've passed though, so you're all right. You're all right.
Lucy takes the note from Varric very angrily and then just throws £65 towards the black hole.
So the armor flies through the air in bits, and Korsk can feel all this stuff clanging behind him onto the thing. Once it has absorbed it, it just lets everybody go. Korsk, you fall to the ground, not taking any damage because it's not that far you fell. That was a hungry problem.
We almost became part of the cleanup.
Indeed.
Thanks, Lucy and Varric. Belated help, admittedly, but better late than never.
We were trying, Korsk. I don't want to, rain on this parade, but we were trying. Lucy's emptied his whole bag of pants.
Oh no, I am grateful for that.
Can I just say the mug was a genius idea for 20 gallons worth, because I think that was like £198 out of the 400 that you needed.
And it was hilarious.
But the DC was dropping as you went along.
Lucy looking... Can he see the stuff that he's thrown, or is it just in nothingness, gone?
It's gone.
He's just counting how much gold he's thrown away.
Don't worry, Lucy. I will promise I'd get you another suit of armor. Stick by my promise.
I'll gladly pitch into that.
You say anything about paying for it?
That armor alone was 1,500 gold pieces.
In the meantime, Malone, I think we should leave and make sure we shut the door behind us. If there is a route back, I suggest we do not take this one, just in case the black ball is hungry again.
Nah, it's been defeated. We can do it again.
Depends how much stuff you've got to throw away.
Yes.
Don't even.
Alright. Are we moving on or moving back then?
Making sure I've cut everything out of the bag that I'm supposed to.
Is that a page gone?
Nope. I've still got 6 pages of stuff.
What the,
How are you running out of stuff to throw?
Because the other things aren't that heavy. Do you want me to throw bed sheets at it?
Yes.
I'd be surprised if we got 2 pounds out of that.
Size
Okay.
over weight, that's what it is, obviously.
I got rid of most of our heavy weaponry.
Well,
The great swords, great axes.
the cannonballs, the...
I didn't have it.
while we think about our next move, Korsk is going to stomp back into the main room and stand well away from the door.
Well, if it's done, should we not just go ahead, or are we?
Yeah, let's push forward, course. Don't go backwards, go forwards.
You didn't have you didn't have to fight that thing.
Are you still big?
Yeah, for the next minute at least.
Cool.
So it's like, fish, fish.
So are we moving on?
Yeah, let's go.
Someone else open the door this time.
I'll do it. Lucy, stand back. I'll handle this door.
Okay.
I open the door.
Okay.
And Lucy will go through quite quickly because he wants to get away from that black hole.
You get a passageway. It just looks like a normal passageway that you'd seen before. Nothing spectacular about it.
So you'll head and just peek around the corner.
So I need to move.
Don't forget filter and
Leo.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I was busy
I'll
just doing some stuff. Oh, I need to move the map on the recording as well. That would help, wouldn't it? So, you in a passageway? What would you like to do?
Go towards the door if there is one.
Yeah.
Okay. So Varric makes his way down the passageway relatively unscathed.
Okay, Korsk will,
Relatively. Though I stumble at one point. Just
Korsk will follow. We'll probably be behind Lucy though, if Lucy's still moving in.
Okay, here.
So I'm assuming you guys picked up Fulter's sword when you rescued him, by the way.
yeah.
Yeah, give it back to him. Yeah.
Cool. So Varric, are you opening the door?
Yeah. Stand back, everyone. I got this.
Daryl. Let's rearrange the map on here somewhat.
Can't believe I actually managed to use all of my magical strength charges in this dungeon.
Did they replenish every long rest?
Yeah, I'm just impressed that we managed to actually get to the maximum because there's 6 of them.
Do you not remember
Do you know what? Can I
how
just say?
big this map is? We are nowhere near through it.
I know.
Can I just say you were in a great room to have a rest in earlier?
That's true.
I just needed to make sure somebody kept moving around. So, in the room, you find a hallway
So
with some sofas. Also inside are 3 giant golden statues, which appear to be of a female sorcerer. There's a smaller silver version inside what looks like a runic magic circle below.
Lucy will ask, can anyone read those runes?
I read them. Being a sorcerer and educated person.
Do an arcana check.
Arcana.
Oh,
16.
Like, educated.
So it seems to mention the word transformation. You can move into the room, by the way, if you haven't already. So the magic circle's down the bottom, so I'm assuming Varric's moving down there.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to move them just into the room there.
Okay. Good point.
Alright, yeah, I'm staring. So, does this person... Sorry. Does this person look about the same, like, not as the same size as me, but like...
Same lady. It mentions the words Samara, Hall of Samara, and transformation. I will add
Is this...
there are 1, 2. Well, the one being the one you came through. 3. Can't actually see that because the map is too small. 3, 4, 5 doors into the room. You read on a little bit, and it mentions things about illusions and how Samara was a master at illusionary magic, and how things aren't necessarily what they seem.
Straight away, then, I don't think these statues are made of gold. I'm going to relay that information to everyone. And then kind of just point out the fact that the statues are, whilst giant and golden, they are probably stone or something.
Are the sofas at least soft?
I hope so.
Do an investigation check.
Sure. I should not have advantage on that, so that's the first roll. 13.
They appear relatively comfortable, soft.
Is the silver statue facing any particular door?
No. Well, it is facing that one, potentially.
Okay. Did we get any information on Samara when Larissa gave us the quest?
Just, she was a great sorceress from a age gone by.
And does Lucy know anything about Samara?
Do a history check.
That would be a no.
No.
Everyone, be ready. You may want to rest and stuff just now. I want to touch the silver statue to see if anything happens. I would like to cross into the circle.
Cross into the circle?
Yeah.
Is that it? You're just crossing, you're not doing anything else?
I'll like channel magic into my staff just in case, but like I'm just like,
While Varric's doing that, Lucy's gonna...
As you walk in, you can feel a crackle of magical energy beneath your feet. However, nothing seems to happen yet.
How long is a short rest in game time?
1 hour.
1 hour, okay. Not enough then. Alright. So, Corsk will take out his tools and start to tinker with them to detect the magic in the room. And as he does that, the the effect of enlargement on him ends, and he gradually shrinks back down, basically kind of like hulks down and becomes a lot less muscular, back to his original lanky form.
Okay.
So, particularly looking for any illusory effects, concentrated on the statues, I would think.
Okay. So, you sense that there are many illusions in the room, which include the statues.
So, Varric, it seems like there are many illusory effects going on in this room, but there's so many happening at the same time that I can't get a bead on any particular one of them.
Right.
I know that the statues are definitely under some kind of effect. I would expect the sofas are too, in some way. I've no idea if what you're approaching right now is real or not, though.
Well, only one way to find out. I reach out to touch the statue in front of me.
You reach out, you feel a crackle of magical energy that you're only so familiar with on your hand. Then in front of you, you see the statue begin to transform, as do the other statues in the room, and everything else that was in the room when you entered.
Of course.
Should we leave it there for this week?
I knew there was a reason I didn't want to sleep on that sofa.
Ooh, no.
We travel and roll, our intentions are